Welcome to our Devos where we are talking about trials. This is Trial Talk. And Trial Talk is all about how we process the trials that come our way, those things that tempt us, that test us, that cause us to be kind of rattled in our faith. Now, this is the umbrella part. This is the last part. And this is what we're going to put on top of everything, no matter what's going on in our lives when it comes to trials. We have to keep this in mind. Peace is available despite your circumstances, not because of them. Peace is available despite your circumstances, not because of them. Understand the difference. If you are waiting for your circumstances to give you peace, if I just made more money, if I just didn't live in this neighborhood, if my kids were all in one state instead of scattered all over the country, if I could just be better about my finances, like when that happens, I'll have peace. That's not how peace in Christ works. In fact, peace that is offered by God is offered not because of how good things are going in our lives, but the opposite. It's offered in spite of those things. This is why Paul says that we can have peace that doesn't make any sense, that defies understanding. This is why we look at situations like Jesus, who is praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he's, just filled with dread of what's going to happen to him. This is why we see Paul, who's in prison. This is why we see Old Testament heroes like Daniel that are in the lion's den, and they have this calm. Why is that? Why is that? Because peace is not conditional on our circumstances. If it were, we wouldn't have access to it. Jesus says this in John 16:33, I've said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation. But take heart, I have overcome the world. The key isn't making the world as peaceful as possible. The key is being so insulated by Jesus Christ that the things that happen in this world don't have the impact on us that they would if we didn't have Jesus. Our lives stand as a testimony in one way or the other of how much we have given ourselves over to Jesus Christ. And when trials come, this is when we get to see what is actually going on, what is actually happening with us. How are we handling it? There's something little, and I say this little, it's really, really, really little, that something was going on with my middle son, with his health. And it was something, it's trivial in comparison to other things. And now, he knows what I do for a living. He knows. So he sees, me ministering to people. He hears me talk about doing funerals. Like they know, my kids have been to more funerals than your children have been to. So, okay, that's sometimes family dinner night. Like, hey guys, we're going to go to a funeral, but then we're going to go get, McDonald's after because, I'm a good dad, but I'm also a dad that traumatizes. So, but no, I don't have a problem. Like I do that because I want them to see like how people really are and these things happen. So, they've gone with me on hospital visits. They've gone with me to funerals. And so, we have this little medical thing that he's been dealing with for about a year now. And we were at the doctor's office, and I looked at him and I said, hey, buddy, I said, are you okay? I was trying to I wanted to see how he really felt. I'm like, is this bothering you? I know it's not good, but is this bothering you? And he looked up at me, and as sincere as he could be, he said, Dad, he goes, honestly, it bothers me a little bit, but I'm so grateful that I am not sick. And, church, when he said that, I was like, okay, I'm going to cry right now because I can't comprehend that. This is what I'm talking about, like that perspective, that impermeable perspective. That's the perspective that you and I have access to in Christ, that I can be grateful even though things aren't great. I can be happy even though things aren't necessarily whole. I can be joyful even though my world is jostled out of control. I can do all these things because of Jesus, not because things are great, but because God is so good always. And his love is always consistent. And if you look around other people, you see that there's things that they're going through you couldn't imagine going through. And you just thank God, thank you for being with me through my trial. Get them through their trial. You are here. You've given all of us access to your peace. So walk in that peace. Trust him to get that peace, and he'll give it to you.